remember very well.
You were not there, you were told.
It was terrible sometimes. But the thing is that, like I always tell people, the work that all of us are doing is to make money. Let nobody bamboozle you to it.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Inspired Abby here. Once again, I've got my husband on the channel and we'll be talking about a few things and discussing a few things mainly focused around career jobs this time around. So welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I'm here again.
Thank you for all the love on the last videos. All of the comments, we saw everything. We did our best, I think, to respond to all of them. So
Yeah.
thank you for all the comments, all the discussion, all the people who encouraged us. Thank you so much. Everyone was subscribed because of those videos. Thank you. Please do keep subscribing. We will be very, very happy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So let's get into it.
Everywhere I go, beauty finds its way in the little things of every day.
Okay, so the first question I had was, what did you want to do as a child? What was the career or job you wanted as a child? I know as children that changed every year most of the time. Was there a particular thing you wanted to do?
Yeah, I think when I was a child, the first thing that I remember saying is that I wanted to be an accountant. Cause my mom did something in that line. Um, she was a banker for years. So, and then I just thought, okay, she was an accountant because I think I don't know, somehow I just wanted to be an accountant. That was one of the things I remember I said when I was really young. I wanted to be.
I think
Yeah.
mine may not be as interesting. I had some funny ones.
Yeah.
Mine changed like every month. So with whoever I see. So I wanted to be a nurse because of one of my aunties. And then I wanted to open up a restaurant at a point because
I
I
remember very well.
you were not there, you were told.
Yeah, I remember I was told, yes.
um, and then I wanted to do something in fashion. I wanted to, as I grew older, I think by the time I got to teenage age, I thought I was going to do something in TV, broadcasting, newscaster, whatever, things like that. I wanted to study mass communication. My dad did not allow that to happen. I wanted to act. I wanted to do everything. I think there were a lot of things I wanted to do.
Yeah,
I,
I think mine changed from being an accountant to wanted to work in computer science, a computer scientist. I shouted that a lot in secondary school because when we got to JS3 and I got to the sciences classes, our SS classes, I had it in mind, okay, I wanted to be a computer scientist. I really didn't know much of what it would be like then. And of course, because I liked maths and I liked physics, that time in secondary school, I was pretty okay in those subjects then. That's what I thought. Again, in secondary school, that I would be.
I never thought I would be in the area I'm in now when I was growing up. I always thought I was going to do something
Yeah.
out there in TV or something maybe quite social and out there. So anyway, yeah, that's quite interesting.
Yep.
What was your first job ever, ever, ever? The first job you ever did that you got paid money for?
I think when I finished from university in Nigeria, I worked briefly, like what they do now, like tutoring,
Mm, yeah,
organizing
yeah.
tutorship for
High school teacher.
Yeah, something like that. So that was the first thing I think I did.
Yeah.
That, but and the money was a pretty decent then.
Yeah.
Um, I think that was about it. Well, of course, my youth service, because I did agricultural economics in school. I worked in the farm of one of the big
Yeah.
army officers now. But really, that's just it. Do you want me to talk about what I did in the UK or something?
We'll come to that.
Yes.
We'll come to
So
that. Yeah.
those were my first paid employments.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
first job ever was after finishing uni law school and
Yeah.
service. I worked in a law firm in Abeokuta where my parents are based and where I was based at the time.
Yes.
I quickly discovered that that wasn't what I wanted to do. I didn't want to practice law. I didn't want to
Yeah.
go to court. Few court appearances, I just knew this was
That was not
this
it.
is not
Yeah.
for me. And maybe also the person I worked with as well. Wasn't I don't know if he took the whole career seriously or not. Because what we did most of the time was go to court to adjourn and ask for dates. So he didn't give me the encouragement I needed to stay in that field. I think I left after 2 months and I said, you know what, I'd rather go sit at home than
Yeah.
than do this.
I
That was my
I
first job.
yeah. I sincerely don't think when someone studies law, you have to be in litigation, going
Yeah.
to court, and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I've seen you succeed not doing that.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
I might be biased a bit, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
sincerely don't think so.
There are a
Yeah.
few courses that you do that you can go into any field
Yeah.
and you'll do fine. Law is one of those that the knowledge is easily transferable
Yes.
into many
Yes.
fields. So your first job in the UK, what was
Mm. My first job in the UK, I spent only 1 week. Um,
that?
they called it money shop then. I don't know if they
Yeah,
still exist.
I think yeah.
And one way or the other, I got into the branch, started working, and the UK at that time, the racial discrimination was really, really bad. And one way or the other, they kicked me off. So I won't call that a job. Then the second one, I worked in a fruit factory,
Yeah.
picking and packing fruits and all that. And yeah, it was pretty good because I mean, earning pounds as someone that is new in the UK, it was quite pretty,
Exciting.
exciting and very, 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 very interesting. It was really good, uh, and of course, mm, do you want me to continue or just stop there?
Yeah,
We'll get there.
We'll go into all of this.
So, but
I
that
know you worked many jobs.
so
Those
those
were kind of the
my first
sounding boards, yeah.
jobs. Yes, really, yeah, it was, and it was exciting. At least to make money,
Yeah.
and be able to have my own money. Yes, yeah, it was.
So you worked in the money shop. For people who don't know, money shop, that's kind of like an office job, really. That was
Yes,
your kind of
yes,
first job. Money shop. For people who don't know, they do money. They did change. They will change money.
money
You could borrow
exchange, borrow money. Yeah,
sell off your stuff and get money.
yeah, they were like a loan shop mainly,
Yeah.
and then pawn shop,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah, that was
and it was really a big thing
yeah,
then.
it was big. That was
There wasn't we didn't have many like we have these days. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was really a big one then. Yes.
So mine was not that glorious. So my first job, I had just come into the UK. I wanted to do something with myself before school will resume and all of that. So we drove to this place, me and you, and he said, just go into, I didn't even know what McDonald's was. I just saw the sign. You're like,
Yeah.
go in and tell them that you worked in restaurants before. I was like, okay, I guess I have. And so I walked in, picked up the form, and yeah, I got the job straight away. I think that same day I got the job.
Yeah.
to serve food at McDonald's. So my first job was at McDonald's as a qualified lawyer in
Mhm,
Nigeria. First job
mhm,
was, and
mhm.
there's a funny story to that. There was an uncle of mine who came to the store to say hello to me with his children, and I think he was just joking. He said, "Oh, make sure you study law so that you can work in McDonald's like your auntie." I know that was sarcasm, but I took that as a kick in the butt for me to make sure that I don't stay there. So that my first
Yeah,
job was in McDonald's, and at the same time I was doing fruit the fruit packing thing as well
yeah.
on the side. A few times I will do the factory one, do the McDonald's one. McDonald's job gave me some skills in the sense that I started to understand the accent. So listening to the
Yeah.
people when they want to place their orders and understand the accent and be able to try to respond in a way that they will understand me as well. And being able to smile to people and just be cordial. So I learned
At
from
that
that.
time, it was a good starter. To be honest,
Yeah.
at that time,
Yeah.
I don't know about now.
Yeah.
It was a good starter for anyone coming into this
Yeah.
country. I looked for jobs like that, but I wasn't taken for some reason. Uh,
Your face
I
is too
do,
strong.
I don't know. They didn't even invite me for interview. So well, but
They tend to look for more women
yeah,
in that
at that time. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So what do you do now and how did you get
yeah. Okay. Like the story would go, after I left the factory job, I started working in as a security guard, security response officer through uh, one Nigerian guy then. So I started to get my experience and then got a security badge. At that time, it was a prestigious thing to get that badge in the UK. I was one of the first set of people that got that badge and got a job as a security guard with a big company then. I'm working for Deutsche Bank in the city. Was quite prestigious, and that was what I did for a bit. Um, then we one of my side jobs that I usually do. Then one of my friends, uh, her name is Falake. We went secondary school together. Just called me one day. I said, "Oh, is this what you have come to do in the UK?" And that was a kind of big blow, and I thought about it. And one day, I just resigned. I said, "Well, this is not what I've come to do in this country." I just resigned, and I suffered for that decision because money wasn't coming in. It was tough. And I still tried to do some side security jobs, but it wasn't um, very easy at that time. And later on, one of our friends, we went to their house, and I was saying, "No, I was looking for work and all that." So, "Ah, the job center is recruiting now. Why don't you go there?" Shout out to Bumi. And then I just said, "Oh yeah, that's true." And I did the application. They called me for the interview. Now, of course, I killed it, and I got employed straight away. And through the job center, I started working my way up. And one of the guys that managed us then saw me and be like, "Oh, you can't be on the floor. Uh, I think you have much more talent than this. The way you sound and all that." And then gave me a kind of promotion, took me to the back office to work on some systems that they were developing then. And that was how I started my career in a little bit. It was more of project management, but was IT and all that. And then one of my brothers, BC David, had friends that were working in project management then, and he used to talk a lot about it. So I started to read started to ask questions, and then I got my first job as a project management officer with Hewlett Packard then. And then with Hewlett Packard, they just threw me into a configuration management PMO role to configure SharePoint as a new repository for them to manage their data and documentation. So, I mean, as Niger boy now, I've gone to uni, I have masters, I read a lot and started to put all those things together, and I did very well at the job. So I did a lot of work around the PMO office, and I rose to be a PMO manager for United Utilities until I left in 2015 to um, concentrate mainly on SharePoint and going into IT. From SharePoint, I started working in M365, did a lot of migration jobs because at that time it was popular to move from on-premise solutions to Microsoft 365 online solutions. So I did a lot of migration work, worked in Microsoft Exchange, and from there I started to work as a solutions a consultant engineer, and now a solution and enterprise architect. And today, yeah, I work more as a solution architect, some roles in enterprise architecture, um, solution. I mean, done a lot of jobs with global brands like Microsoft itself, Chevron, Infineon, and all those, yeah, multinationals. And that's what I do till date.
I want to take the opportunity to say
Thank you, thank you.
so definitely it's come a long way, and
Yeah,
just make sure you continue yourself and study,
yeah,
never settle for less.
yeah,
And
because
I think that that helps, it encourages me to
yeah,
keep going, keep putting myself out there.
I'm a kind of person that um would never sit down and say, yeah, this level is where I want to stay. I always want to move.
Yeah.
Because I just see there's always an opportunity out there. There's always a way out there. It's just for you to find it. And I will say this to people that are coming after us, that you can become whatever you choose to be. No kings, no laws, no one can say no. As long as you keep pushing, you can become whatever you.
Yeah.
It might be difficult. It might be longer than you think. For some people, it's shorter. For some people, it's longer. But just keep going, and you will get there. Yeah.
So for me, after the McDonald's job, I took some time to our first child. And then I worked at Morrison's
Yeah.
as a shop assistant. So I think before that, actually, before working for Morrison's, the same uncle got me like an internship, like 2 3 months internship, to work with a law firm. One of his friends was a partner at the law firm. So I went, and I wasn't doing anything serious. I was basically helping with like scanning, saving documents, filing. I would help go and pick up their posts. I'll sort it out, give it to the different partners and lawyers. I got to see how lawyers work here in the UK. Like I said, being able to listen to the accent and understand that is a very, very important thing.
Yeah.
So that also helped. So I did that for 2 months. Then I think I went to have our first child, took some time out. After having her, then I went to work for Morrison's as a shop assistant. I think I was there for a bit.
Yeah.
And then while doing that, I started writing so there's something called Institute of Charter Secretaries. So that's what I've always wanted to do. In Nigeria, they call them company lawyers. So they work for multinationals, companies, and all of that as kind of their legal counsel, a
Yeah.
lawyer, so they hardly ever go to court or anything. It's basically more of the investment work, the documentation, things like that, advising board and all of that. So I started to study for that qualification, and also shout out to Kenny Bakoya, who said, you know what, make sure you continue with that qualification, make sure you pursue it. So I wrote the first exam.
Yep.
You paid for my first paper, and I smashed my first paper. So I was supposed to write four papers. So I
Yes.
passed the first one. So I knew I could do this. But I think there were other things that came in, and I kind of just left it for a while. Then after some time, Kemi said at their place of work they were looking for someone to come in for like 2 weeks to do some document sorting
Work. Yeah.
work for them.
Wow.
So she said, come and see my boss. So I went to speak to Helena at the time, and she said, "Oh, I like you so much. I think you're a bit too good for this 2 weeks job. Come back when we have. I'll call you back when we have something more permanent." And you know how that can be discouraging to people. Sometimes you're like, "Oh,
I'll call you
this
back.
this person is just deceiving me. They are
I'll
not going
call
to
you
call
back.
me back."
Yeah.
You
Hmm.
know, so I went back to my Morrison's
Yeah.
job. I was like, well, okay, that's fine. When I have money, I'll continue writing this exam. So yeah, but she kept
She
to,
made do with her
yeah, she kept
promises.
to that promise,
Yeah.
and when they had something a bit more permanent, she called me back. I wasn't on the fixed hourly thing. I was on like these flexible hours because I had children and all that. So they only pay me for whatever I did. But
Yes.
that was fine for me to just get my foot into the field of company secretaries, chartered secretary, and they started paying for my exams. I
Yes.
wrote all of my exams, qualified, and that was a long journey. But basically what I do now, I'm a qualified chartered secretary. I work in the company secretarial governance sector. And where I work now, I work for a law firm, and basically, let me just say we do like the legal side of investments, like
Yeah.
the big investments,
Finance and all that.
the finance investments. Yeah, so we do the legal side of that, advising boards, making sure that investments, and these are big investments. I'm not talking about anything small. These are huge multinational investors, money coming from all parts of the world in all sorts of currency and all the numbers you can ever see. And helping those investments to come seeing all those companies through. So that's what I do. It's very interesting. You get to see sometimes those things, like you see the buildings in real life, and you
Yeah.
are so happy. You see the shopping
That
mall, and you're
you
like, "Oh my
yeah.
God, I was involved in this process."
Yes.
So that's why it was it's been a long journey. It wasn't smooth at all. There were times I had to prove myself. I remember the former place where they first, where I said they called me back. There was a particular role in that company that I wanted. They were going to advertise it out, and I said, actually, I can do that. And my boss at the time said, "Okay, I'm going to give you 3 months to prove yourself that you can
They
do
can
this
do
role.
this.
I'm
Yeah.
going to give you this role and your current role to do. But I'm going to be paying you your old salary. We won't pay your new salary yet.
Until
If
you
you
prove
can prove
yourself.
that you can do it," and I was like, "I'm gonna kill it.
Yeah.
I'll stay there in the office till whatever time." But you were
I
very
I
supportive
like
as
the
well.
sound of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were very supportive. If you didn't allow me to be able to do that,
Yeah.
like I always say to people, that my husband always worked his work schedule around school pickup for the children. So there are many times I will rely on him to pick up the kids, just so that I could pursue that new role that I wanted. And it
Yeah.
was a discussion we had, like, I need 3 months to be able to prove to this person that I can do this thing. And the thing about the UK is experience is what really matters. So if you can find a way to
Yeah.
push yourself, keep pushing yourself up, um, you will get to that point that even if you leave that company, you're starting on a higher
Yeah, I
pedestal.
mean,
And
for me, when it comes to challenges like that, especially when it comes to challenges around the career, and someone challenges me or challenges someone around me to say, you need to prove yourself to get to this place, I would throw all my weight behind that person, or throw all that weight behind myself to make sure I get there. A lot of times, and I would always say this: if you come to the UK, it might not be that easy, it might not be that short, but if you keep at it, you will get there. It was long. I mean,
very
one
long.
thing that we're trying to push out here is it was long, it was difficult, it was daunting, it was so much, it was terrible sometimes. But the thing is that, like I always tell people, focus. Once you focus on where you're going, I don't know where I get the strength from. I don't know. I don't know. To be honest, a lot of people ask me questions to say, "How did you get there? How did you do it?" I can't even explain it. But there's always this driving force behind me to always want to conquer the impossibilities. To always want to tell people that there is a way where you think there is no way. Um, and we've been able to support each other to get
Yeah.
to that stage. And I think, again, to people, the road might be rough. It might be smooth for some people. I don't know, depending on the people you meet here,
Yeah.
depending on your destiny or what not. But I mean, but it might be difficult. You would get there as long as you keep going. You'll get there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this leads to my next question. Your advice, you touched on it a bit. Your advice to people who are new in the UK about jobs and career, and whether there's a possibility of you being able to reinvent yourself and change from wherever you feel like you're in to something completely new. Is it possible?
Yes, you can. You can do that. The way it works here on this side of the world, and I will point out, and I'm not trying to take a dig or uh, discredit anything. A lot of our people, I want to go and do my master's, first master's, second master's, doctorate, this and that. Yes, it's good. If you want to be a teacher or you want to be a professor or something, yeah, maybe you keep going, you do master's, you do doctorate, you become a professor. But on this side of the world, that university education, so to say, does not really count for you to move up in the career ladder. It's more of certification. If you add experience, if you recognize where you really want to be and you know where you really want to be, I would advise that even whilst you're doing your master's degree, start to reach for certifications in that area that you know you want to be. Start to put up those certifications, start to get the experience, even if it's volunteering, even if it's you just contracting, even if it's you getting jobs that you know that will just open your eyes to what you want to learn. I think it's faster for you than you just doing masters and then doing PhD and whatnot and all that and all that. I'm not taking a dig at it. If you want to teach or you do research or things like that, maybe. But if you want to work in fields like maybe even accounting, IT, um,
Certification
law, um, even the medicals, because I know people that are not doctors, they are not GPs, but they work in the medical field and they do very niche certification based roles that, and they even earn more than doctors and live a very good life, and you would not know. And those are the things that I think on this side of the world you need to look at. And I think even in Nigeria and everywhere else in the world, we need to be opening our eyes to these things, not to just gather university certificates. And when you get all the university certificates, you are not doing anything, or you finish university, you go and open a shop or whatever. I'm not taking a dig. It's a good thing as long as you're making money. You can pay your bills. Nobody pays your bills. But if you want to be in the career line, you want to move up and you want to make good money, you need to look at you getting certifications and all that. And you can do sciences and you want to change to anything else, or you can do law, you want to change to anything else, as long as you face the certification area of that side.
Yeah.
Start to do training, start to do volunteering, start to do certifications, start to ask questions. Ask questions. Don't be shy to ask questions. Learn from people that are even younger than you, learn from people that are older than you, and that's how you gain the knowledge to get to where you want to get to. For someone like me, I ask questions a lot. People sometimes will speak to me anyhow. I don't care, but I know where I'm going, and I do a lot of certification courses a lot. I read a lot. I always tell people, well, you see this frame, you see me wearing jewelry, wearing designer, I'm playing and all that. A lot of people don't know that I spend a lot of time behind the books, behind the training, behind the certifications every single day. I've made it an habit, and that's how the jobs are coming in, and I'm progressing in my career. So I believe you can change the course of your career anytime you want to, and if you concentrate on it, you get to where you want to get. And I believe in the little career that people think, oh, there is nothing there. With a lot of certification, concentration, focus, you can get there and make good money, because at the end of the day, the work that all of us are doing is to make money. Let nobody bamboozle you. I'm a doctor of, I'm a philosopher. You get, if you be doctor, if and you are what they call it, professor, you not get money, they go drag you. Forget about all that thing. All these Gen Z children, all this they will drag you. They will drag you. You find a YouTuber that is making money, and they will pay your money. If you talk to them anyhow, they'll tell you, I can pay your life, I can sponsor your life. And they can sponsor you because you're reading and you're not looking to make money, you're not looking to live a good life, you're not looking I mean, you studying, you going to school is to be able to financially be secure, to take care of yourself, of your family, and every society in the world works with finances and money and all that. And that's just the main truth about it.
Yeah, you touched on university education and all of that, and as much as the skills that we learn there are good and transferable and all of that, I've seen people who come out of university and don't have the basic etiquettes of work. They don't know how to use the basic tools. Because we
Computer.
take a lot of
Some
yeah,
people
we
can't
take
even use computer.
a lot at work, and find people who have gone to university, actually some who have done their masters, and give them very basic instructions, like the basic of the basic, and they repeat the same mistake.
I'm over again.
And it's just because this person is not paying. So besides the education, there's also, and the education is important, the certification is important, but the soft skills are also important. Soft skills of being able to plan your work, know how you remember things, understand yourself, and how you understand things.
That's
If you are
the word.
somebody that to understand something, you need to put it in a diagram shape. Do it. If they are giving you the instruction, draw it so that you know that you can remember it that way. It's all the soft skills of asking questions, communication. Somebody gives you a task, ask, when do you want this to be delivered? If you're struggling with anything, ask before you go ahead and make any mistake. Don't assume, just ask questions. Don't say, oh, because I did it that time, the last time this way, it should be the same thing. No, just ask the person, oh, the last time we did it this way, we do it the same way. It's all those soft skills that sometimes many of the children who leave school these days do not have. There was one that was falling asleep while I was
Training and all that. Oh, that's.
And I was like, seriously, you're on internship, like just focus. So, and there are some of them who are really great. So I think this is a challenge to parents to please in your little when you're having like discussion at home with your children who are in uni, teach them the soft skills,
Yes.
show them the other little things, tell them if they in any little way, just say to them that no, if somebody gives you an instruction, clarify whatever is not clear to you, because when you get to work, this might be an issue. Make them to realize that at the workplace, this thing that you're doing, I'm correcting you and you're not listening. It could become a problem for you when you
At
go
work.
get to work.
Yeah.
So make sure the soft skills and also computer skills as well. People who can use Excel after finishing uni, people who can't use bank platforms, you come to uni, like you've just done the theory
I
and you've
mean,
not learnt any of the
yeah,
other things.
I think just like you said, it starts from the home. I always try to challenge my children with things like that. Sometimes it causes conflict between us,
Yeah,
but I would always say, look, if you're going to use a system, you need to be patient.
yeah,
You need to be patient. These systems are coded to act in a certain
yeah,
way. Understand it, study it. When you enter maybe a code or whatever, or you enter a word into a system, wait for it. Study the time it takes for it to respond.
mm,
Then you be conversant with the way it works. I think university education is good, and I wanted to say that it's good for networking.
mm,
You meet like lifelong friends and things like that. You meet your wife, your spouse, like I did
mm.
mine. But yeah, so for that, I'll say, well, university education is good and all those things. Yeah, but if except you want to be a teacher or you want to be a professor or a researcher, you can keep going and all that. But if you want to face a career, I think the certification will help a lot. The experience, the hands-on
The
experience
experience.
will work a lot apart from your university certification or university degree, so to say. And then you need to open your eyes, learn from people around you, read their journals, their scribbles. The way I learn, and I'll put it out there, is I jot down a lot. If you go into my office and you find my scripts or my jotters, my notes, I don't write notes like no people write notes. I jot a lot. I jot and I start. I jot and I start. And so when I'm studying, I just look at what I've studied as an important thing, and that stays with me. The moment I write something down, I hardly forget it, and that's the way I study. Um, I don't know if I have the power to go and sit down and be doing a PhD or that ability. I don't know. I've not tried it before. I might succeed, but I don't know. But with some very, very difficult certifications that I have done,
Yeah,
is just by jotting,
yeah.
and I've been able to complete them.